Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football. I hope all of you are doing well. What a crazy day we've had so far. And look, we're not even halfway through. I mean, this is video number 1. Make sure you're here for video number 2. Go and check out what was uploaded yesterday, as well as the reaction in the watch-along between PSG and Bayern Munich, where we had an absolute calamity happen at the end. But go and have a look, and we get ourselves ready for the semi-finals. We're playing on Tuesday, so the preview for that game will be out tomorrow. Make sure you guys are here, subscribe, notification bell on. Let's get into it. What in the blue hell has gone on already? I mean, if you're an Arsenal fan right now, you're acting bipolar. That's just the truth. You're fuming and excited at the same time. It's crazy. And I'll explain why. We're going to start off with why Arsenal fans might be fuming. So, we'll start off with that, then we'll get to why they're excited, and then we'll get to Chelsea's main event as well, because we've got something to say on this guy, and it's not looking good, bruv. Let's get into it, I'll explain. Starting off with the latest on Madueke. Fabrizio Romano saying, understand Arsenal are set to send opening bid for Noni Madke after agreement with the player on personal terms. Told Madueke has committed to a 5-year deal valid until June 2030, already approved by the player's camp. He's already on board. We know this. He's already on board. He's basically gone out the door at this point. But the clubs have to agree a fee. So what are they discussing? Obviously, the clubs have started talking. That's logical. So what have they discussed? How much are we talking here? Well, let's get into this. Starting off with the Telegraph. Chelsea are expecting to field offers of more than £50 million for Noni Madke. Arsenal are advancing in talks. That came from the Telegraph. We then had Fabrizio tell us there is quite a difference at the moment in Chelsea valuation and Arsenal valuation for Madueke. Don't let this concern you. That's normal. That's normal. I would be shocked if we just yeah, we're asking this price. Yeah, we're willing to pay. Oh, great, done deal. That never happens. Yeah, that never happens, especially in today's age. Never happens. So the fact that there's a difference at the moment is a good thing. It means Chelsea are demanding something pretty substantial here. And rightly so. Rightly so. You're taking Madueke here, yeah? You're not taking Kellyman. Do you know what I mean? With all due respect. Kellyman, how much did we pay for Kellyman? 20-something odd million? Nah, listen, bruv. Madueke, 50 million. Standard, minimum. And because you're Arsenal. Yeah, we're selling to Arsenal here. There's a premium on that. Realistically, it should be 60. But we got to be a bit flexible here. 50 mil, plus add-ons, right? Now, obviously, when you're fair and you look at the other side, Arsenal are not going to go, yeah, we're willing to pay 45 million. They're going to probably start off at 35. And then, you begin to meet somewhere in the middle. That's just normal business. So don't be concerned. The player wants to move. This is going to happen. This move will happen. It's just Chelsea will try to maximize as much as they possibly can. And Madueke waiting for club to club as he's ready to join the Gunners. Right, on top of this is where we're about to jump into the good news for Arsenal. And I've given you a little preview. But to wrap up the whole Madueke talk, the move is going to happen. I'd be shocked if it doesn't. And you know what? It wouldn't be good now if it doesn't happen. Because the players already made it clear. The club's already talking. Things are already in motion. I mean, Chelsea fans already have him checked out the door. I mean, it's done, isn't it? It's done. There's no real coming back from this. Do you know what I mean? It wouldn't even be healthy to go back on this now. I fully expect a deal to happen, and I fully expect there to be some sort of a compromise between Arsenal and Chelsea. Maybe in the coming days. Obviously, Chelsea have the Club World Cup. And this is where, look, I don't think we're going to get anything substantial as long as Chelsea, in terms of players coming in, which is what we're going to come to at the end of this video. As long as Chelsea are still in the Club World Cup. And I'll explain why at the end. So hold that thought. But Madueke, things happening. Let Arsenal and Chelsea talk. We'll see what goes down. Let me know your thoughts on that. Now, like I said, Arsenal fans fuming because many of them don't want Madueke. 2, Arsenal fans very excited because flipping hell, it's looking like it's actually happening. Victor Gyokeres. David Ornstein saying Arsenal in advanced talks with Sporting Lisbon over deal to sign Victor Gyokeres. Transfer fee discussions continue, but personal terms in place on a 5-year contract. 27-year-old Sporting striker only wants Arsenal. Arteta pushing for swift conclusion. This is actually quite unreal. Fabrizio confirmed Arsenal are now getting closer to signing Victor Gyokeres after a new round of talks in recent hours. Gyokeres will not return for training at Sporting as he's fully focused on leaving the club. Arsenal are now advancing. Nothing done yet, but discussions underway. But then we started getting more. Victor Gyokeres and Arsenal, here we go, can be very soon. I mean, when this starts happening, it's basically done, isn't it? More on Victor Gyokeres' big news. Gyokeres has reached total agreement with Arsenal on contract terms and informed Sporting about his desire to join Arsenal. No intention to discuss other options, only to proceed with Arsenal as soon as possible. Deal well underway. We got Ben Jacobs then saying the same. Victor Gyokeres has agreed a 5-year contract with Arsenal and club-to-club talks are now ongoing to try and finalise a fee. Gyokeres has told Sporting he won't return for training and wants to move to Arsenal. Andre Berta trying for 70 million euros. Sporting want 80 million euros, which is surprising considering what we've heard about Sporting not willing to let him go for that sort of price. I mean, 60 plus 10 was what they were fuming over. Now they're happy to just do 80, even though that's maybe what? I mean, that's what, like a 6-7 million difference. I mean, in terms of pounds, that is. You'd think they'd try and get 90 or 100. But the player is gone. And I think that's maybe what leverages it. Listen, I have one question. Sesko, where the hell are you? Yeah, I was relying on you, brother. I was relying on you. We were all relying on you to join Arsenal, so Arsenal get their striker, and they don't go for Gyokeres, and you're nowhere to be seen. You are lost. You are not to be found. Where is the brother? Someone put on a search for Sesko. Where has he gone? Because they're getting Gyokeres. They're getting Gyokeres, man. I gotta be honest here, that worries me. You see how I tell you certain moves like they don't worry me? Nah, Gyokeres, I have to be fair. Gyokeres to Arsenal concerns me. That one gets me rattled. Yeah, that one makes me feel, crap. That is an upgrade for Arsenal. Big time. It's Gyokeres. Now, some people are convinced, and I don't know where they've got this from, that, no, Gyokeres is going to flop. He's going to flop. Wait for it. I hope. At this point, I hope. But to just be so sure that he's going to flop. I mean, if he flops, everyone flops. Do you know what I mean? Gyokeres has been outrageous. He's been a machine, a goal machine. And when you look at the way Arsenal play, what is it that Arsenal have needed? Arsenal have needed someone to just be clinical. Ball, goal, done. The amount of chances that they've missed because Havertz, because they've not got an in-and-out striker, because they've had to rely on Marino instead. I mean, you put Victor Gyokeres in that place, it's an instant upgrade. There's instantly more goals. Come on, instantly. He knows where the goal is. Now, in terms of system, how is he going to be fed? What, you know, the way that he plays and his profile. Listen, you put him as a standard number 9 in an Arsenal team where there are chances. Once he gets the ball, he is putting the ball in the goal. Gyokeres is a clinical finisher. That is what Arsenal need. That's what Chelsea need. That's what I was like, flipping out. We need to go for Gyokeres. We went and got João Pedro. Now, and Liam Delap, obviously we've got to. But time will tell. It remains to be seen what sort of impact that's going to have on Chelsea. I think there's a lot of people that are excited with João Pedro. And because of his profile and what he's going to bring. And I hope so. I mean, that cameo that he had in the last Club World Cup game was a very, very bright cameo. Yeah? Very, very bright start for João Pedro. Very dynamic. Very, it's like he's everywhere. Do you know what I mean? He gets stuck in. Not just stuck in terms of physically, in terms of he doesn't stop moving. He's everywhere, which is great, right? But the most important thing is we need someone that's able to put the goal in the net. It's as simple as that. Sorry, the ball in the net, not the goal in the net. What am I saying? The ball in the net. That is just the fundamental thing here. I'm not too bothered about style and profile and, you know, what can he offer to his teammates. And I get there's an important part of that. But the most important thing for someone we're playing up top is, listen, brother, when you get the ball, can you score? That is what we need here. And Gyokeres brings so much confidence in that area that, of course, it worries me. Because that is what Arsenal have needed for a while. Just a proper striker, man. Gyokeres... Bam. Let's see what happens. Let me know your thoughts on that one. So you understand the bipolar nature going on at Arsenal at the moment. And on top of that, they've only gone and actually signed the guy that, I don't know, like I said, he must have got lost on his way to London Colney or something, but he finally arrived. Controlling the tempo. Martin Zuba Mendy is a gunner. Original music by Ezra Collective's Femi Colieso. Okay, big up. But anyway, it's been unveiled. It's done. Zuba Mendy is an Arsenal player. And like you'll see in a few moments, there you are. With the Arsenal top. That's a great signing. For Arsenal, they needed that. Now, obviously, what's happened with Jorginho and Thomas Partey leaving the club, and Arsenal are in the mud in regards to Thomas Partey. We know that, so, you know, no distractions there. But... they've got Declan Rice. Zuba Mendy is in. They've signed Norgard, who's a backup to them now. It's a good structure. Similarly to how they want Madueke as a backup to Saka, which is a good structure, but it's triggered a lot of Arsenal fans because it's a lot of money. And now they're getting Gyokeres. I mean, it actually, I have to be honest, it actually feels like Arsenal are fixing and getting the positions that they actually needed the most in order to get them across the line. Or to give them a real shot at actually competing for the Premier League title. They're doing the business that everyone has asked for. I would keep an eye on Arsenal next year. I really would. I really would, because they've only gone and assembled themselves now a proper spine. Their goalkeeper department is where it's a little bit sticky. I mean, they've got David Raya, but now they've got Kepa as a backup. They've got Gabriel, they've got Saliba, great centre-backs. They've got Declan Rice, Zuba Mendy. And now they're getting Victor Gyokeres up top. Flipping hell. Do you know what I mean? Odegaard, obviously, as an attacking mid. That's a quality spine. That's a very good spine. So, let's see what happens. Let me know your thoughts. How are you reading Arsenal? Are you concerned as a Chelsea fan? If you're an Arsenal fan, are you excited? Are there still deficiencies in your squad? Let me know. Or as a Chelsea fan, are you not worried? As a non-Arsenal fan, are you not worried, or are you? Let me know. I'd love to know your comments on this one. And where do you see Arsenal with the business that they're doing at the moment? Let me know. Now, Tottenham are set to bid again for Mohamed Kadus next week as players keen on joining Spurs. Chelsea have also been in touch with Kudus' camp, with more clubs also interested, but Spurs want to accelerate. Thomas Frank already approved Kudus as a key target. That doesn't sound too bad, does it? Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't. And then you hear what Fabrizio's just come out with. Kudus is not negotiating with any other club. He wants to go to Tottenham. Kudus, why would you do something like that, brother? Why would you do? Why? Here's more. Understand, Mohamed Kadus is not talking to any other club at this stage. He wants Tottenham move. Kadus already said yes to Spurs project, and club-to-club talks with West Ham will continue soon. Clear intention is to join Spurs. Are you a glutton for punishment or something, Kudus, brother? Why? Why would you do that to yourself, my friend? Why? Now, here's more before we get into it. Chelsea did hold talks regarding a move for Mohamed Kadus, but it is understood a move to Stamford Bridge is unlikely. Doesn't look like it's happening, guys. Doesn't look like it's happening. So there we are. That's Kudus. It looks like he's going to Tottenham. Now, I don't want to be needlessly optimistic. I just want to state out the fact because it's Tottenham. I swear, I wouldn't do this if this was anyone else. Even if this was Arsenal or someone, I'd be like, it's a wrap, guys. It's a wrap. But because it's Tottenham, and it's the history of the Tottenham, it actually is the history of the Tottenham. I'm not even lying here, yeah? I wouldn't write it off completely. Until he is actually unveiled with a shirt and the contract is signed. That's when it's done. At Tottenham, though, he could even have a medical and it still wouldn't be done. So, look, if Chelsea really... I honestly believe Chelsea have not actually gone in for him properly. I think if Chelsea really wanted to, and they went, listen, we are making a move for Kudus officially. Kudus, we are coming for you. This is what's happening. This is the project. This is where you're going to fit. Look, we want to make this happen. You're coming to a bigger club. You're going to get a bigger salary. Blah, 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 blah. I think we could hijack it in 5 minutes if we really wanted to. I don't think we want to, which is baffling. Except under one condition, which I'm about to mention. But if Kudus actually, in his head, only wants Tottenham, regardless, even if Chelsea did make a move properly and he goes, no, I'm not interested, I want Spurs, then my friend, something's wrong with you. So, it is off here. Because don't get me wrong, I understand that Tottenham, you're going to be playing Champions League football. I get it. You're going to have a starting position. I get it. But it will end after one season. Someone honestly tell me Tottenham are going to make top 4 next season. Please, someone tell me that. I honestly think I can give you the top 4 right now. I honestly think it will be, in no particular order, just the 4 clubs. Liverpool, Man City, Arsenal and Chelsea. That is the top 4 for next season. The way that... I can't see anyone else really breaking it. Especially not United. Especially not United. They might come back close. They might get themselves into Europa League spot or something. But I don't see Tottenham breaking that fold. So, yeah, you'll play Champions League for 1 year. Great. And then what? Whereas with Chelsea, I think you will be playing Champions League more often. I think there is a chance to be playing a substantial amount of games. You could get ahead of Pedro Neto as a right winger. You're flexible. You can fill in other positions. You're playing, brother. You're playing. Without a doubt, you're playing. Even up front if we have to. You're playing. So, we'll see what happens. Yeah, we'll see if there's a possible late hijack in the horizon. I'll be honest, I don't think there's going to be. I don't think Chelsea are really going in. Now, I would be on Chelsea's case and go, what are you doing? Why are we not going for Kudus? Except there's the possibility of one other condition here. And this is where it's now do or die. And this won't happen before the Club World Cup ends. This is why I think even the timing isn't in our favour here. We got to wait until the semi-finals are done and see who actually qualifies. Because as long as Real Madrid are still in this competition, Chelsea will not make a move for Rodrigo. He's with Real Madrid, and he has been playing off the bench, and he's been coming off the bench. He's not even been starting, so that's an indicator. But he's still with the squad. Nothing's going to happen there if the team are still involved in the competition. As soon as Real Madrid are not in this competition any longer, we can actually start talking about the possibility of going in for Rodrigo. And the competition ends at the end of next week. So maybe we got a week left before this is possibly a substantial thing that can happen. But we must. I'm just saying, we must. If it's not going to be Kudus, there is one name out there that Arsenal have not even gone for because obviously they've got Saka and they're getting Madueke as a backup. There's no room for Rodrigo there now, clearly. We need someone. If we're letting go of Madueke, we need someone. Bring him in. Let it be Rodrigo. Chelsea, we must. We must. And I know people are talking about salary. Listen, we must. Like I said, we must. When you're talking about this level of player, we must. There is no, maybe you can try and get him to get a similar salary to what he's getting around Madrid, but we can offer him more playing time, and in the Premier League and London and all of this as added perks, we can maybe try to add on a little bit in terms of what he currently gets as a salary. He's on 250k a week, I think it is. Offer him 260, 270 and just, then go there. But try and sell the whole thing in terms of him. He's going to be a starter. That's just the truth. Pedro Neto, my friend, you're going to have to work. That's how it is. But we must. We must. Now, the alternative here, and what people think might actually be the case, is Brendan Rodgers from Aston Villa. Which, I have to be real, it can make sense because we do need another left winger. But he is someone that can also play on the right. And that is someone that can come in and fill in two birds, one stone. Because we need someone that can also be another option at left wing with Gittins. Tyreek George, I think, will probably end up going on loan. And then someone that, if needed as well, can play on the right and can compete with Pedro Neto. And that could be Brendan Rodgers. And this goes back to the point that I said yesterday. We've got a lot of players that can interchange across everywhere. Palmer can play basically anywhere, left, centre and right. Obviously, down the middle is his main thing. But he can play on the wings too. Esteval can play on the wings too. Pedro Neto is flexible on both ends. Gittins is a left winger. Pedro Neto, yeah, I've already said Pedro Neto. If you bring in, now Kudus would have done that too. Brendan Rodgers can do that as well. João Pedro plays up top, but can play a little deeper if needed. We've got players that can just interchange with this really weird hand movement going on right now. It's like wax on, wax off. Do you know what I mean? So that's a possibility. But for me, get Rodrigo, man. We've got teams making statement signings now. Statement signings. Rodrigo would shift the landscape. If Chelsea signed Rodrigo, there would be an earthquake. Shockwaves sent across the entire Premier League of, oh crap, Chelsea have got Rodrigo. Scheiße. Do you know what I mean? We got to do it, man. And I think he's affordable. With the money we're generating, with what we're getting, with the outgoings that we've got to get rid of. And by the way, talking about the outgoings, I actually want to show you all the names that should be heading out of the door. I'm going to get it up on screen for you guys. I saw this yesterday. There it is. So look at these names. Just look at these names. Look at all of these players. Now, Nkunku, probably out the door. Anselmino, probably going to go on loan. Gu, loan. Penders, probably a loan. Slonina, sold or loan. Amugu, loan. Disasi, sold. Felix, sold. Fofana, sold. Paez, loan. Petrovic, sold. Ugochukwu, probably going to be sold. Vega, sold. Wiley, I don't even know what he's doing now. Washington, does he even exist? George, loan. KDH, probably needs a loan. Sterling, sold. Chilwell, sold. Chalobah, we will have to see. He could be sold. I don't want him sold. He cannot be sold. But there's a possibility here. We've got to be honest. We know what the club of what Blueco have been like with Cobham players. So there are players there. And I think there's more. Who are going to be out the door. So we will have substantial money coming in. We will. Rodrigo, we can probably get for about 80 million. Then it's just about the salary. But for a player like that, you pay. For a player like that, you pay. Simple as that. You pay. So pay up and don't, pay up and don't speak. Pay and don't speak. It's simple. So let me know your thoughts on that one. Before we wrap up, I want to show you the latest coming out of... Where is it? Here it is. I got it here. Right. Italy/Turkey. Victor Osimhen wants to stay at Galatasaray. The player has accepted the 16 million euro offer. That's in terms of salary, by the way. It's a lot of money, right? That's... How much is 16 million? Let's do some quick maths. 300k a week. There we are. So, 300,000 euros a week, by the way. So, yeah, he could be staying at Galatasaray. That's come from Corriere dello Sport in Italy, so you can see the link. We'll see what happens. But, yeah, is Victor Osimhen going to stay in Turkey? Looking so. Let me know your thoughts. Now, that's that for video number 1. Make sure you're here. I'm sure we're going to get more updates throughout today. It's only just kicking off, so make sure you're here for video number 2 later on tonight. I will be here. Subscribe, notification bell on. I'll see you then. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Catch you later. In a bit, take care and peace.